How is everybody doing this morning? Yes. Yes. So if you're in this session, it's because we have a leadership workshop that's going to happen. We're going to do some traditional lectures that are not so traditional, okay? And then we're going to grab some lunch, and we're going to come back, and we're going to start to apply a lot of the information that we take in from the morning sessions. So we're going to have fun. We're going to play. Yeah, we can do that? Good deal. My name is JJ Valdez. I am now a director of clinical education at Victoria College. I've been a respiratory therapist for about 15, 16 years now. Was frontline for about 7 years. Did traveling. This was 2020 BC, before COVID. Did about 3 different stints traveling. I went up to the Northeast. I was at I suffered in the island of Oahu. It was awful, let me tell you. Okay? Came back from Oahu, and then I went to Las Vegas. Again, suffering. 23-year-old not knowing what to do in Las Vegas. Hello. That was me. Okay? Came back home to Texas, and not long later, I got my first position as a mid-manager or a chief therapist is what we called it. I did that for about 2 years, and then I moved into the educator's position at the hospital that I worked at. I did that for 5 years, and then pandemic hit us, right? So I went and did the traveling thing again, and then the last year, I've been at Victoria College as the director of clinical education. So I've seen a little bit, okay? I may look young, but I've been around a little bit, okay? So today, some of the things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about different ways that we can improve not only us as individuals, but talk about how we can improve processes or patterns that we see in the workplace. Yeah? Okay? So just so you know, there is an agenda, okay? After each one of our lectures, we're going to have about a 10-minute break. We've got almost a 2-hour lunch, and then we're going to come back and do our hands-on. This afternoon, this evening, we have a Meet the Managers out in the with our vendors. Thank you so much. We've got to meet the managers with our vendors, so we're going to run up right up until the time that starts so that you guys can go right into mingling with the vendors, okay? That being said, we are going to use Poll Everywhere. We're going to use Poll Everywhere. So as like in non-educator form, pull out your phones, everybody. Download this app, or you can text JJ Valdez 733 to that number 22333. JJ Valdez 733 to the number 2233. And that will open up opportunity for us to answer questions and work together as we work through this morning session. Okay? And then you have a note card in front of you. It's like, oh my gosh, true teacher fashion, right? I'm going to have to take notes. Your notes are going to come back into us because we're going to use some of this information that you guys provide in our future sessions. Deal? We're all still thinking about Poll Everywhere. Yes. So there is Wi-Fi available. Wi-Fi available. It's under Texas Society, and the password is capital R 2023. Oh, respiratory. Yes. Even my eyes can't see that, Matt. R for respiratory, capital R, respiratory. Respiratory. Yes. Capital Respiratory 2023. Yep. Hey, Jim, if you get a chance, will you let them know that our mic isn't working? Thank you. So we're going to have two more speakers. Matt's one of them. Jim just is going to help us out with some of the logistical stuff, but we're going to have three speakers. I'll give them a proper introduction as their time comes, but we're going to jump into this first talk. Did we get this done? Are we all on poll everywhere? Sort of, maybe. I see some head nods. There's coffee outside if you need it. Okay? Come on. All right. So, first things first is this poll everywhere. What current QI projects, what current quality improvement projects do you guys have? So what are the current projects? So vent transport safety, reducing ADE. So what's an ADE? Adverse drug event. Adverse drug event. RT-RN partnerships, early ambulation. Ooh, I like that one. We're going to talk about that one here in a bit. Okay? Let's see what else we got. Geographic staffing, pneumonia prevention, reducing happy. We want people happy. That's a bad acronym if we're trying to reduce it. What does it stand for? Healthcare acquired pressure injuries. Right? But we want people to be happy. Okay? Geographic staffing. What's that look like? One of y'all put it. What's geographic staffing? So staff, so you relocate your staff to the acuity of the patients or the number of patients you have in that area. Okay. I'm sure there's some more. Unplanned extubations. Thank you, Pete. Acuities. That's a big one. Who made it big? Sure, yes. If multiple people respond to acuities, it makes that larger. Yeah, so it sounds like, and it looks like there's a few of us that are looking at acuities, right? Is that looking at like patient acuity or the acuity level of the hospital, reducing staffing and things like that? Patient staff ratios, okay? So early in the morning, if I have a full hospital and then we have one of those like mass exodus in the afternoon, we reduce our staffing. Am I following? I'm sorry? Work. Okay, so go ahead. Right. So a therapist's workload based off of the patient's acuity. Okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, you put anything? Okay. So we've got a number of different QI projects that we're currently working with. Okay. Thank you, Pete. All right. Does this make it a little bit easier? Okay, sorry. I do have a big voice, but not for this big of a room. All right. So, dealing with the ick. Dealing with the ick. Who, when they were looking at this workshop, said, what the heck is ick? Thank you. Right? We had a couple of people raise it, like, we're going to be the ones that don't raise our hand, but, right? So we're going to do that here in a second. Okay? So when we talked about putting this workshop together, we were looking at different ways that we can improve in our workplace, we can improve as a person, and we can improve the processes or the patterns that we see in our everyday walk, right? So when we have something that we don't really like, it's something that we're not really, it doesn't sit well with us. This is something that we need to improve upon, something that we're going to try to get better at. That is what we're looking for. Did I jump ahead? I might have. I'm excited this morning, you guys. Are y'all excited? Okay, good. That's just me. I am excited, and we're going to activate this, and we're going to present it. So in your own words, define ick. Again, using Poll Everywhere. This one should be activated for you guys now. In your own words, define it. Broken processes. Broken processes is the first one that somebody put up there. Or 7 people put it up there because it's so big. So what is dealing with the ick? What does ick mean to you? Lack of teamwork, I'm guessing. Okay, broken things staff don't want to do. Stress. Let's scroll here. Things staff don't like. Something that you have to deal with, a muddy problem. Things we don't like but have to do, broken process. So things we don't want to do. Junk, I like that one. What I would like to get rid of, lack of motivation. Good. And these are all within like the right definition of dealing with it. So when we look at, we're going to go to the handy dandy dictionary. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to move forward. When we look at the dictionary, the definition that we have here is it's used to express disgust. Used to express disgust. So what is something that you don't enjoy or that is lacking, that you don't appreciate, or that is not really going with the flow of how things are supposed to go? So as we go through this lecture, we're going to talk about pick the ick. So we're going to identify what we don't like. Deal? So as we go through this, we're going to talk about different or current QI projects. We're going to have identify valuable QI projects. We'll differentiate that throughout this. That impact patient care, hospital's bottom line, and employee engagement. Those are all some key words that we want for our staff to come work with us, right? And then lastly, we're going to mind map different ways that we can take our current QI projects and share them and collaborate these things across our great state. Yeah? So on the index card in front of you, what I would like you to do is write down two or three QI projects. Perhaps it's something that you saw up there that you would like to implement into your facility. Identify a pattern. It could be something that's personal. It could be something that you see from the staff. You could see something that is hospital-wide. Identify a pattern that we might want to shift from so that we can ultimately improve what happens moving forward. So if you'll write 2 or 3 down as we go through this, we're gonna talk about these as we continue to go through this talk. I'm going to read one more definition to you guys, and then I'm done reading definitions, because, okay? According to SLEETS, this is a healthcare terms and definitions book. Okay, I got this whenever I was working on one of my degrees. Quality improvement is the sum of all activities that create a desired change in quality. Desired change in quality. In the healthcare setting, quality improvement requires a feedback loop that involves the identification of a pattern in patient care or the performance of other systems involved in patient care, the analysis of those patterns in order to identify opportunities for improvement in the quality of care for future patients. So, is there something that we're doing right now that we can shift from, that we can get better in, so that our future patients do not have the same, perhaps, poor pattern that we have currently? So this is looking at future state. An effective quality improvement system results in a stepwise increase in quality of care. So when we do that, one of the ways that we can do that is with a PDSA, Plan, Do, Study, Act. So this PDSA gives us the framework in which we can start to implement these quality improvement projects, and Matt's going to deep dive into each one of these sections so that we can put this process into application so that we can take the tools that we gain from today back to work tomorrow. Well, next week, because we're going to be here all week, right? So last poll here. Let me activate it for us. Last poll. Who is currently involved in your QI projects? Who is currently involved in your QI projects? Multidisciplinary, so be specific. I love the word. Staff, RT, quality improvement, managers, the entire team, fellow staff members, MDs, QI specialists, OT, PT, RT educator, bedside staff, the ones who volunteer, MDs, RNs, statistics. Yeah, you got to have those nerds on the team. Like, to crunch the numbers, because, I mean, I took statistics, but let's get serious. The graphing calculator did all the work, right? Or the program itself did all the work. So we see that we have tons and tons of people that are incorporated with this team, right? OT, PT, nurses, respiratory educators, directors, managers, PI lead, MDs, a whole gambit, right? Well, I'm going to take you guys down perhaps a different path, okay? Someone else that we can involve in this, but before we get there, the projects that you guys wrote down, I want you to share with your neighbors. So the people that you're sitting next to, talk about the projects that you guys wrote down and see if we can start this collaboration process right now, right? So make friends. What you doing, girl? You all right? Yeah? Good morning. How are you? JJ. Nice to meet you, Lisa.
Good morning, April.
April, nice to meet you. JJ. Aisha, nice to meet you guys. Shamika, I'm not gonna do like. I'm glad everybody has name tags. Shamika, Aisha, April, and Lisa.
It's only 4 of us in here.
Well, I can remember Lisa. That's my mother's name. That's your niece's name? Does it have like a government name, or is it?
Yeah, she has a government name.
Yeah, so do I. I never go by my government name.
Yeah.
I never go by my government name. So what did you guys talk about? What did you come up with?
Working as a team in quality work.
Working as a team in quality work?
Unplanned extubations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you know what your unplanned extubation rate is right now? Was there a number? Like, I don't have the mic on. What is it?
It's 0.57.
0.57. So when you break that down into numbers, so 1 out of every 200,
You could say that.
right? Because
Okay.
1% would be 1 out of 100.
Okay.
0.57, half of that would be 1 out of 200. How many vents do you guys run per month?
It all depends. So we're on our agency, we have like 60 something, sometimes 60.
60 on average?
60, 70, yeah.
So 60 for easy math, because I'm not trying to do this at 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's say 50, right?
Okay.
Right? So every 4 months, there's an unplanned extubation.
And our numbers must be off.
Right? So if you look at that from a year's perspective, it's 1 every 3 months, or 3 every year.
No, that's
Right?
right.
So we gotta look at something here, right? So again, this is where the investigator in me is like, okay, if this is 1 out of every 50, 60 or 70, right? Then that's 1 out of every 4 months, which would then be 3 a year, but that's not adding, right? So where does the 0.57 come in?
So it's the percentage based
Right.
off of number of vent days that they
So vent days, not vent patients. So if your average vent day is, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, is let's say like 4 to 5, right? So every 50 patients, let's say averages 4 vent days. I don't know what your average is. We'll just throw it out there, right? So that's that's almost like once a month.
No.
Is it more often?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Once a shift?
No, it is not. Well, I'm just saying, we have had a lot.
Sure.
When they come in clusters. So that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes. Everything comes in threes, right? Absolutely. Right.
And then we'll have a sprint where we didn't have any for a while.
Sure. So what I would love to see is there's a bunch of folks in here that perhaps have gone through the same thing. Talk to them about what they did to overcome that, and then we can have a better pattern for our patients in the future.
True. And I think that the hospital, I keep seeing a net, I swear. SPS, we're part of that program, basically that helps with that piece of what you just said, speaking with each other. So there's some things into place, but it falls back to your first question, which is staff doing what the expectations of, and
the ick part of it, right? The ick part of it. So how do we eliminate the pieces that are ick so that we can focus on the things that are going to be great?
And
that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about. Good. I love it.
I don't know, but if you answer that question.
Morning, guys. Y'all doing all right? Yeah?
Still can't use that hair.
This is normal.
I know, that's you.
This is me.
Now, if you were just wearing a tie
No.
and clean shaven,
no.
you'd be right back to where you were when you came into our board meeting in Dallas.
Did I have a tie on that day?
You did.
I think I had.
It was Saturday and you wore
it. Was. It was. So one of these days I'll get back to it.
Completely clean shaven.
Yeah. You guys got some things you're coming through?
We're solving it.
Beautiful. How's the conversation going over here? Yeah?
Hey, stranger, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Robin.
Robin?
We graduated together.
We did. How are you? I'm going to give you a hug. Let me move this thing. Come here. So good to see you. This is so much fun.
Well, I told them, I was like, they gotta come hear you talk.
This is fun. I hope you guys have fun. Y'all having a good conversation over here? Good talk? Yeah? Hello? It is. In this little microphone. I did, yes. So that is being heard. Like, all of our conversations being heard right now. Yeah. Say whatever you want. Yeah, yeah. So you guys have good topics and put. I love this.
I know.
You got some good stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Good, good. We're gonna share in a bit. Okay? You're with them? Wendy, you haven't making friends? You making friends? Okay. Okay. Old friends. Yes, yes. Y'all good? How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Christina?
Yes. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Good to see
I was
you.
like, is that really JJ?
Oh my gosh, they let him get a microphone? Yeah. I went everywhere.
I know.
I went everywhere. So, well, that was the pre-COVID everywhere. Yeah. 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 It was 2020. Yeah. It was 2020. Yeah. Hi there. Nice to meet you. Yes. Right after me. So I left like July-ish, I think, somewhere in there. Yeah. Good. Having fun now. Having fun. How are you? How's the conversation, you guys? Yeah? Good stuff. We're going to share here in a bit. Be sure you write those things down, your thoughts down. Okay? Hello, hello. Y'all doing okay?
I finally got into that.
Yes. Let's go. Perfect. Okay, okay. So you guys have good conversation? Yeah? Good talks? Good talks? All right.
What did you call? So we already had a similar thing. It was called PDCA, is what we did. But you said
PDS.
S.
Study.
What is your S?
Study.
So our plan, do, check, act.
Same. Same. It's the same
So
thing, just,
study.
yeah. And Matt's, so, full disclosure,
Yeah.
it was check on there,
Oh.
and I added a text box that was study, because whenever I learned it, it was study. But
Yeah.
check
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the same, it's the same,
Okay.
like, steps.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, all right. Sounds like there's some really, really good conversation that's taking place. And I love that we're starting this collaborative effort already. I love that the thoughts are moving, the conversations are being had. And one of the things that with this talk, originally this talk was titled Learn, Unlearn, Relearn, right? Because when we are taught a system or a way of doing things, we learn it. When I went to school, I learned 8 to 12 mLs per kilo of predicted body weight, right? We may have some folks in here had 12 to 15, but we're not going to name them, okay? But I had to literally unlearn what I had been tested with the NBRC to then relearn a new practice of 6 to 8 mLs per kilo of predicted body weight, right? I was that therapist that dug my heels in and said, nope, I have been taught and tested. We're going to use 8 to 12 mLs per kilo on all of our vented patients. And I was really dug in because I only used 10 mLs per kilo because that math was super easy, right? That was me. I was with you guys, right? So I was one that had to dig my heels in, but until I learned the evidence, until I saw the studies that came out that showed that it is actually safer for our patients to have 6 to 8 mLs per kilo rather than that 8 to 12, then I was like, okay, fine, I guess, right? But the thing